Joined here by Aurora's newly selected mayor, Bob Laguerre. Congratulations, good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Your fellow council members voted you into office to serve out the remainder of the late Mayor Steve Hogan's term, and you've pledged that you're going to continue Mayor Hogan's vision for Aurora. You guys didn't disagree on anything?
I think that the things that Mayor Steve Hogan were working on were very important in the city, and some of them overlapped with some of my highest priorities. So, yes, indeed, that is my focus, and that's what I've told my colleagues I would focus on over the next 18 months.
For people not familiar with the way that Aurora city government works, council kind of sets the agenda and then the mayor implements, right?
That is correct. We, unlike the city and county of Denver that has a strong mayor who basically is the CEO and hires and fires all the senior staff, city of Aurora has a council manager form of government. And the mayor in the city of Aurora is more of a figurehead and a spokesperson for the city. And it's actually the 10 council members that make all the decisions.
Do you think Aurora would be well served to look at changing that? Might it suit the city better to go to the Denver-style strong mayor format?
I do believe that's in our future, but that has been debated. This is my 16th year on the city council over a 24-year span, and that's been debated off and on. And the argument is, are we a large enough city to command a broad base of candidates for that type of government? And at least that's been my argument. But I do believe it's in our future.
When you say future, do you mean the near future, or do you think that's 3, 5, 10 years down the line?
I think a little farther down the road. I'm thinking when we hit 450 to 500,000 residents, we're at 362-ish right now. Mm-hmm. I think that's about the point where it may make sense.
So I would assume that most candidates for political office vote for themselves, but they do it on a secret ballot. Was it weird to raise your hand to vote for yourself for mayor the other night?
It was very weird to vote for myself, and there were members of the community that were very upset about that fact. But some people argued that if you get a ballot, you get a ballot when you're running for yourself. So it was weird, but our city attorney opined that I, in fact, had to vote because the charter written many years ago did not anticipate conflict of interest. It just said council members shall vote to appoint a replacement.
You have pledged to serve out the remainder of the term and not to run for mayor again. You're not going to pull a Lieutenant Governor Donna Lynn and decide to run, are you? No,
I'm not. And there have been other people besides the Lieutenant Governor that have done that in the past.
That's very true.
But no, it's I've given my word, and I said that the reason I'm not going to run again is that as I said, I've been on this council for 16 years. I feel like I've gotten a lot accomplished here, and I had not planned to run again in 2019, even though I'm eligible at large for another term. And when this came up, when Mayor Hogan announced that he was headed to hospice, it just felt like a strong civic duty to me to put my name in. And the not running, the other reason is that I got married on April 1st, and I've had a 2-year taste of retirement prior to getting married. I'm looking forward to the next phase in my life, and it's not going to be as an elected official.
Understood. A lot of elected officials have told me that time in office flies. 2 years, 4 years, 6-year term in the Senate just flies by. What do you hope that people will say about your 18, 19 months as mayor when it's done?
I hope that they will say that I held the office and carried out the role with integrity, honesty, and transparency.
What do you see as Aurora's most pressing short-term challenges that you guys can really move the needle on in that time?
Short-term challenges. Ooh, that's a tough one because they're all so complex. I would say that short-term is probably getting our new city manager hired and working my role as a facilitator of the city council, working together with the city council to get us all directly focused on the goals of the city.
Right now, the Denver metro area is on the short list, as you know, for Amazon's second headquarters. Is there an Aurora site on that list that's being considered?
I don't personally know whether there is an Aurora site, but looking at the metro area and understanding how that decision was made, I would be very shocked if there was not an Aurora site on there.
Do you think Aurora would be a good fit for an operation of that size?
I do think we would be, and there are many people that say that the Aurora, Denver area doesn't have any chance of getting Amazon because we don't have the political clout, we're not East or West Coast. But I, in fact, think that if you look at the Amazon requirement list, we check off every single box with 130%.
What do you think the legacy of Steve Hogan is going to be in the city of Aurora?
I think the legacy of Mayor Steve Hogan is going to be that he was a leader. He'd spent nearly 40 years in local government of one type or another. Honesty, integrity, openness, and just a down-to-earth, nice guy. I knew him for 35 years, and so I think his legacy has already been established as just a great leader.
Do you think Aurora should look at putting his name on something significant as a mark to his legacy in the city?
Well, I do, and we did that yesterday, in fact, with the ribbon cutting of the Stephen D. Hogan Parkway. There's a 6th Avenue Parkway project that he spearheaded, $26 million to connect the roughly 6th Avenue at the Buckley Air Force Base to E470. And we cut the ribbon on that yesterday, and I think that there may be other namings in the future.
Last question for you, something that gets people's passions riled up: red light cameras.
Yes.
So you were one of the ones pushing to get red light cameras on the ballot for voters in November so that citizens of Aurora will decide whether or not they want them in the city. My understanding is you used to be opposed, but now you favor them. Why do you think that people should come over to that point of view?
That is correct. And the ballot question on the ballot, I actually helped to write. The reason I was opposed when I initially came on is that I thought it was just a money maker. And I did the research after I got back on the council in 2012 and realized after seeing the data that it is in fact making our intersections more safe. There are more minor rear end bumper crashes and that type of thing, but the side impact injuries and deaths, in fact, are down because of these. And the reason I feel that it's important to put it on the ballot is that for about the last 5 years, the legislature has tried to kill red light cameras every year. And it's very controversial to people that are very vocal about it. So I believe that when the majority of the population, the voting population, looks at the question, it just says, shall Aurora continue to issue red light tickets to people that enter an intersection after the light turns red? It's a simple question. Hit the brakes on the yellow or, before the yellow, and you won't get a ticket.
Last question for you. Your predecessor, whenever he was on the program, was a relentless booster of Aurora and loved to talk about Aurora as a hidden gem, if a city of 300,000 people can be hidden in any way. What is your favorite secret of Aurora, or thing that you think that most people in Colorado don't know about the place you call home?
Well, I think that one of the things is that we're one of the most, if not the most diverse city in the state of Colorado. And the other is that we're the safest large city in the in the state of Colorado. So that's something that a lot of people don't know when they don't live in Aurora. But there's so much hidden gem in the city of Aurora that I could go on for an hour. But those are the two things: that we're a very large and safe city. And that we've got a very diverse and dynamic population here.
Aurora Mayor Bob Laguerre, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming by.
All right. Thank you very much.